river Styx, right? Yeah, that river that runs to the underworld, separating the underworld from the living world. Yeah, okay. Does anyone know something else about it? Yeah, that's right. The gods, when they swear an oath upon it, can't break that oath. Wouldn't that be awesome? Say, when a god tells you, I'll do something you want, I swear on the river Styx, so I can't break it. What are you gonna ask for? You're gonna ask for anything. It's gonna be awesome. You'd be wrong. Yeah. Whenever someone swears in the river Styx, it turns out awful for them. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the fault on them for making some really dumb wishes. But also on the part of the gods for actually giving them the chance to make an unlimited wish that they can't break. Yeah. And yeah, I can tell you about some people who didn't have such a great time with that. There was Semele. She was just a girl. Jove came down and impregnated her. She's all happy. Oh, I'm going to have the child of Jove. But Juno hears about it. And she's like, he hasn't given me a child, but he's giving her a child? I need to ruin her life. Because you can't argue with Jove. Gotta let it slide. So she goes to her disguised as a crone. Because you should always trust an old person in a hood. Especially if they have an apple. And she goes to her and says, oh, what's with you? And Semele's like, I'm having the child of Jove, no big deal. She's like, you're sure it's Jove, right? Semele's like, no. And Juno goes, yeah, you be careful about that. Make him prove it because, you know, all the men these days are coming up to people like, hey, girl, I'm Jove the Great and Powerful. It's bang. Semele's like, oh, no, shoot. I gotta make him prove it to me. And so the next time he sees her, she's like, are you really Jove? And he's like, yes, I am Jove, king of the gods. And she's like, prove it to me. He's like, you know what? Okay. I swear on the river Styx, I'll do whatever you want. Oh, why? I don't get this. But, okay, now she has a wish. She can wish for whatever she wants. And she says, you know what? When you and Hera initiate the Pact of Venus, I want you to do the same thing to me. He's like, crap. I can't. Well, I gotta do it now. So he's like, do you want something else? I can do anything else. And she's like, no, I want that. I'll see you later. Goes away to wait for him. He sends him to Mount Olympus, and he's checking out his tools. And he has his full power lightning bolt built by the 100-handed Typhus. And he's like, no, that's too powerful. She'll get totally destroyed by that. Let me take my light artillery lightning bolt. Also, why does he have a lightning bolt when he's getting down with Hera? I mean, everybody has their preferences, but lightning bolt's not very sexy in my mind. I mean, but what do I know? So he goes to Semele, and he's like, here I am a god, I've proved it to you. And she's like, okay, let's do this. And then he goes to her, and, you know, because she's immortal, she burns up and she dies. What? Oh yeah, she burns up and she dies. Like a couple seconds later, yeah, just incinerated by Jove's gift. No big deal. Oh wait, no, she died. Okay, yeah, that's the end of Semele. Yeah. And what does Jove do? Takes her undead baby, sews it into his leg, and actually carries it to term. Creepy, but whatever, gods, science don't matter. Yeah, that's kind of the end of the story for Semele, and they never talk about her again. I mean, why would they talk about someone that he incinerated because he was coming down to show her his love? No, don't need to. But I mean, that was a love triangle between two gods and a human. The human was bound to die some way or the other. But what about another example? Phoebus and Phaeton. So Phaeton was the son of Phoebus, and he was real confident in himself. And he was walking around town, and he's like, yeah, I'm the son of the sun god. His friends are like, no, you're not. Prove it to us. And he's like, no, really, my dad's Phoebus, shining god. And his friends are like, okay, then prove it to us. So he goes to his dad, and he's like, Daddy, please prove that I'm your son. And he's like, how am I going to do that? And he's like, I don't know. I'll think of something. And he's like, okay, whatever you want. I'll do it. I swear on the river Styx. Oh my. Why you gotta swear on the river Styx? Why you gotta put yourself in that commitment before it actually happens? I mean, probably because he's a god. And gods don't get punishment for what they do. I mean, in the Zeus example, I mean, Hera didn't even do anything with him. Yeah, but she destroyed Semele to destroy the baby who didn't die. So yeah, that totally worked out fine. I mean, Zeus, nothing happened to Zeus. Zeus was fine. He went on to the next person, had a couple hundred more sons. Yeah. And, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen to Apollo? Not much. So, he's like, okay, son, what do you want? How am I going to prove to you that you're the son of the sun god? And he's like, can you let me drive the sun chariot? And he goes, don't do that. That's, you can do something else. He's like, nope, I want to drive the sun chariot. But he's like, man, I mean, Jove can't even control that thing. I mean, only I can, because that's like one of my big jobs is to make sure the sun doesn't crash. And I don't think you can control it. But Phaeton is not going to take no for an answer. I mean, he has a river Styx promise. Can't say no. And I mean, what better way to show to his friend that he's a sun god's son than driving the sun chariot? I mean, that'll definitely be the coolest car in the parking lot. So he's like, yeah, okay, let's do this. So he goes over and gets the sun chariot, and he starts flying it, and he makes it across the sky, goes to his friend and says, yeah, I'm the son of the sun god, I just proved it to you, I flew the sun chariot. Wait, that's not what happened? Okay, sorry guys, I gave you some false information. He actually flew, and then he couldn't control himself, and he's like, Dad, help me, and he was like, I can't drive the sun chariot today because I promised you would drive the sun chariot today, so I can't help you, son. So he lets his son crash and burn, and he drops the sun, and Yeah, he's incinerated. That's the end of Phaeton. Two people incinerated. Two stories. Gosh, there's a lot of incineration going around. Yeah, so that's that. So my question is, why do gods swear on the river Styx? I mean, more than 9 times out of 10, it ends up with somebody they've promised something to getting completely and utterly destroyed. Well, mostly by incineration, but I mean, I'm sure there's other means of people dying because of these wishes. But yeah, why do they do it? There seems to be no reason why. They don't really get anything out of it. I mean, Zeus was trying to prove that he was Zeus to Semele, or trying to prove that he was Jove. Same person. I mean, Phoebus is Apollo, Hera is Juno, Jove's Jupiter is Zeus. What are you gonna do? They have a lot of names. So, do they care about us? Probably not. Do they actually want to give us anything? I mean, they don't care. It doesn't really matter to them. So, because they don't care about our lives, because they don't worry about what happens to us, and because there's no way they're gonna get in trouble. I mean, has a god ever actually gotten a real punishment that's hurting them? Not really. I mean, Zeus does a lot of bad stuff, but he's not punished. Oh, but Semele has consents to him, and is having a child. Oh, and she's incinerated. So, I guess that's it. It's because the gods are kind of untouchable, so they want to play with us. We're the ultimate danger for them, because we're mortals. So if they mess up, we die, and what else has a god got to do on a Saturday night than watch a couple mortals die and burn? Yeah, it must be real fun. Yeah. And that's why the river Styx is a piece of garbage.